up, I have an unhealthy interest in decapping. So I'm thinking of opening this. It's North Bridge or South Bridge, possibly North Bridge. Amazing the size of this heatsink for that size chip. So yeah, some serious processing going on there. There's also this one and this one. Somewhere in there, I think I'll take out most of these and see what's going on. I believe this is the BIOS also. Yeah, it does say that actually. So yeah, just to see what's inside the BIOS, how it goes. I think most of them will be relatively similar, but just to see the interest and see how it looks. That's surprising more having opened the first one and seen how much stainless steel there is. This is not thick, it is not heavy. Interestingly, my Pentium did this to around the edges. It looks like it was really amateurly done or something. The edges are curved badly. It's very poorly done. I wouldn't accept this in anything I'm building, so I have no idea what to do with this corners of the stainless steel cover. Anyway, yeah, so that's the chip there. Let me clean it up and see if you could see anything. Didn't really expect to see that much, but let me see what we got. So as I said, just to recap, this is a Pentium 4. Let me see, is it showing up? Yeah, Intel Pentium 4. So not bad. Clean up the heat face. Yeah, it's a nice pretty blue. Obviously it's not for aesthetics because no one got so much yet. Don't know, have no idea what is the thinking behind this, but so you're too lazy to go and get to the soldering station and plug it all in. Removal by torch works. Lost a little mic, but hey, I'm not going to use that anyway. So I've taken those two chips off the BIOS, and I believe that might be the salt bridge. Don't think it's worth taking this one off. Has the same pretty blue color, but this is pretty tacky and sticky, and I don't think it really makes sense taking this one off. So I'm going to try burning the older chip that I have taken off, not the Pentium. This was an AMD chip, Athlon, and see if it separates, see if that comes off on the side. I tried pulling it out, so that didn't work. I'll see if that takes off the coating on the side, and then these two chips, put some heat on them and see if I can get rid of the capping. Let's go. I think I might get a good bit in, but just to show how it looks, hold this with one hand, see what I can do. Just now, did I turn it off? Right, there we go. Lots of lovely smoke. I'm sure it's very healthy. So this one's separated into two halves. So clearly this was soldered somewhere here onto this. After scraping a little bit, you could see wires. Those are wires, copper wires coming up. It looks like, yeah, copper wires coming all there from, I guess, the BGA part on the other side. So yeah, that's how they did that. Burettines are most likely here, and this strip here. The thermostat has gotten pretty brittle, so yeah, just a little press on it's breaking. I'll take my time and see if I can get close to the chip. I'll take a little bit more time than I'm doing now, but yeah, as you can see, this is breaking fairly easily. I'm just gonna have to be a little more careful closer to the chip, but yeah, I should be able to get it. And maybe it's visible, I don't know if it is, but you could probably see those little wires coming in, those traces. So maybe it didn't come to there, maybe it came through on the plastic, it came some on top, same below. I don't really know how it exactly reached, but yeah, all these have copper wires in them. So I'm gonna get to that and see what I can get to in this too. That came out a little easier than I thought, so that's the chip. It's not very big and not very thick. I'll take some measurements, see what it will, see if I can see anything under the microscope. On the AMD processor, that came out actually pretty easily. It doesn't look much damaged, it's flat. Probably gonna clean the surface up a little bit, and this is the, yeah, it's breaking off fairly easy. That's the whatever epoxy they would have used to keep that chip in place, fix it in position. So I'm going to try the Pentium just now and let's see what the results look like. Let's with one hand and see if I could record it. It's interesting. It'll be useful for me to look back on later, so I'm going to try. Can it get popped off? Does it get popped off? It's a little difficult to do, and no, it does get popped off. As I said, it's a little challenging with one hand, but yeah, nothing like a little flames, little heavy metals in here to make a day. I'm going to clean these up and see how they look. A quick look at the bottom. So obviously I was burning from the top of the Pentium. All these little solder balls came off, lots of little gold legs hanging around the place. I guess if I wasn't trying to reclaim, this would probably be useful. The minuscule amounts of copper, of gold in that, probably isn't worth your while. So this BIOS is probably the hardest of them to do. Yeah, it's getting some progress. I'm getting it out. I don't know how they connected this. Looks like they brought those pins all the way in. We'll see. It's getting a little stiff now, so I'll put some more flames, but I'm kind of reaching the limit of my good smoke for the day. So yeah, hopefully this one last spoon enough. But yeah, it turns out all these are just traces coming to it, and pretty much this is it. This is the chip. So I'm going to clean that up too and probably have a look on the microscope. I'm not sure I'm going to really see that much, but yeah, why not. Unexpected developments. The pins from that Pentium are magnetic. They are actually being attracted by a magnet that's inside this piece of toilet paper. Didn't expect that. Thought this was going to be copper, soldered and gold plated. So yeah, steel, and I use that in a very loose term. It may really be iron, but yeah, mild steel. Let's go with that. Documenting the pictures taken on the microscope. This is the Pentium back, and the Pentium, the board that the chip was mounted on, where it's charred, the board where it's charred again, and that's the top, showing how the copper peels off. This is the underside, with the pins falling off, and with the next one here is with all the pins fall off, but this is a thin layer of copper that is pretty much present and pulls off. The other thing is showing a pin, a Pentium pin by itself, one that came off. It's amazing how much solder is on that. Didn't expect it to be that much. The next picture here shows the underside of the board where the chip was placed. There's a set of connections. I'm not sure, it looks almost like gauze. Can't get too much higher resolution than that, but yeah, don't know what that is. The next picture shows the Pentium chip itself, the underside of it. That was before it was cleaned up. It's, as it came out, rough and scraped with a metal blade. It was cleaned up a little bit further with some Prestone car polish, and the edges started to get a little worn in because obviously your hands weren't moving very parallel, but you get a little bit more, and it was really more to test the idea whether you could in fact clean up a chip with car polish more so than do it accurately. I really don't have the magnification to see anything of value really on something like a Pentium, honestly. So that's not going to really help the me gain any great set of knowledge. Moving on now to the AMD chip, the Athlon. I have a picture of the edge of the chip where it was chipped, the top of it where you really can't see that much. Further, the board on the underside of the chip, there's a grating, and I have two pictures here, one with it a little bit out and the other one a little bit closer in, and I assume that's how they make the interconnections on those points. I'm not sure if all is used, but maybe it's just simpler, just have a grid, work to a grid. Makes sense, I guess. The next to the chip itself, these are the little whatever they are actually 8-pin devices that are on the board that the chip has. On that board I have the right where the chip is laid, matching up I guess to that same grid pattern we just talked about. It was the orange color is a set of solar blobs, and there's a zooming of it. Some of them basically fold and join together, but that really is the process that I use with the torch. Chances are those would have been, standalone. It looks really like a BGA, but I guess a lot smaller. And I have two shots also of the Athlon pins themselves, one from almost directly above, can't see that much, and one from a little angle, and those look really nice, and they did not die under heat. Unlike the Pentium chips which just collapsed, fell out, these did not. These stayed fairly good. Moving on now to the BIOS. This is a picture of the whole entire BIOS cleaned up, and they use really large traces. The traces, sorry. And these traces come in, I mean, there's obviously no need for them to be that size. I don't know. That looks, it looks different from all the other chips. This is a close-up of it. But when you consider the size of the BIOS chip, and these traces are fairly large for coming into a chip. This is the back of the BIOS. Was never really properly cleaned up. You could see some epoxy there. And this is the front, again not properly cleaned up. Could do better, but probably not going to see that much. I may investigate this a little bit further in the future. Might be worth my while, but I don't think I'm really going to see that much. So it was really just to see how much variation I'm seeing. I'm seeing some variation on it in coloration, but I can't really tell for sure how that works. And this is just a spot where the BIOS chip was, and that's the cavity that was inside. A little zoom up of that cavity. And now getting on to the south bridge, or what I think is the south bridge. This is the back of it, that much. The front of it, one shot, and another shot where you see a lot of small lines. It looks almost like that's coated with some kind of epoxy finish, and lines in there and contacts at the end. Quite a bit of contacts supposedly, so yeah, it's quite interesting. The finish of the lettering on the Pentium chip, if you look at this, you see little splutters like little dots. Now obviously that's not a dot matrix or some mechanical thing. That most likely is a laser thing, but it looks almost mechanical. Whereas now if you have a look at the barcode, well, that's not really a barcode, I can't remember the exact name of that kind of coding system, but it's smooth, and I take it that laser passes across traces and it's a different time frame, and it gets a smooth finish as opposed to the wooden Pentium, which looks like it's been hit mechanically. It's been a long video already, so let me call it a day on that.